So the next movie that we're going to talk about is The Harder They Fall.
Oh my gosh.
The critics did an 87% and the audience had a 93% score.
Did you see it?
Yes, I did. I finished it today.
What's your thoughts?
I definitely enjoyed it. So here it is. The Harder They Fall, when an outlaw, Jonathan Majors, discovers his enemy, Idris Elba, is being released from prison, he reunites his gang to seek revenge. This movie was
Freaking
from the
awesome.
jump. Bow, bow, cowboy. I love this kind of like quick draw stuff.
Yeah, this movie was.
Ooh.
Listen, man, this movie was so. What messed me up with this movie? I wasn't gonna watch this movie because I saw the trailer for the first time it came out. I was like, this trailer. Whoever did the trailer did a bad job. Okay, because if you don't catch me with the trailer, sometimes if I don't know the material, the trailer is the one that's gonna have to catch me. And I saw the trailer, I was like, this movie doesn't look good. It looks cheap. So I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Then I heard from my boss, above all things, told me, you must watch this movie.
Yeah.
My boss. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Let me tell you something. 10 minutes. Okay. 10 minutes in, I was ready. I was like, this movie's awesome.
Yeah.
This movie was awesome. And I was watching it in the small screen in my office, right? And I was like, yo, this movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
After 37 minutes, I stopped it.
You had to stop it.
37 minutes is the scene on the train.
Oh, yeah.
I stopped it. I said, oh, no, I got to watch this upstairs.
You gotta watch it on the big screen.
I called mom. I said, hey, we got to watch this tonight.
Yeah.
This movie and the soundtrack.
The soundtrack was good.
The soundtrack is so awesome. We downloaded the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, this movie, it's one of the best made cowboy movies, shoot 'em up, stories I've seen in a long time.
That's the thing. What this movie did so well is like taking that simple premise of a revenge story and still doing it very well. Because, we see those all the time of revenge. And, it can get tired or you just kind of like follow the same like pinpoints. Right. But they still did it in a compelling way. The cinematography was really cool. There was this scene at the end where Jonathan Majors' character, he's like, the camera's on one side and he's like, oh, you're going to really shoot me in the back? And then it pans over. Yeah. And you see another character like with the gun. Yeah. And then he's like, he calls his friend, and then the camera pans one more time. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
It was great cinematography. It
was so good.
Film, so you know what I'm talking about. The color, the palette, the way it was shot was so beautifully shot. The sun, the everything was beautiful. This was a beautiful. The cinematographer, whoever the cinematographer was awesome.
Yeah.
It was on point. Okay?
It was on point.
And just every shot was great. The costumes down to the boots. I love this movie.
Yeah.
Regina King was so cool in this movie.
Her character, yes.
She was
I love
cold.
her character. Mm-hmm.
She was cold. Okay. The scene in the train, when the guy walks in, I forget his name. He's from Atlanta. He's from the show Atlanta. He walks in. He's being calm and just talking all nice and cool. And the guy is like, "Get off of this train, you scum!" And then he said, the hero."
The hero. Like, come on.
That line was. You know what I liked about this movie was they knew where they were. Yeah. Right? They weren't, even though it was in the West, they weren't trying to talk like, okay, we're gonna try to talk like it's 18 something.
Right.
No. I'm talking like I know how to talk, right? So the hero. He's like, why must there be a hero? Yeah, it was so good. And the scene with the knife, when he did it with the knife on his legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was it.
I was like, whoa. Done.
Like, that movie, every part of this movie just had me go. I could watch it again. I could watch the movie. I could watch the movie right now.
Right now. Right now. I really love this movie for sure. Me too. I think that I'm like broadening my scope because I'm usually just like very superhero-y, very action-y. Yeah. But like this, this is still action, but it was just like so well done.
It was just so well written and it moved well. My only critique, and I told this to mom as well, my only critique was 15 minutes too long because I felt it. When I feel something is long, it's too long.
I know. I felt that too. Yeah. I checked the time and I was like, is this movie still going?
Yeah,
but
it's
still good.
There was 15 minutes they could have shaved off there and it would have been perfect time.
Right.
But other than that, that's my only critique. Other than that, I love every part of the movie.
How do you feel about? I've heard that.
Jaden gives it a 9 out of a 10.
Yes.
Mom gives it a 10.
A 9 out of 10, get a 10. Yeah. I give it a 9 out of 10 as well.
I give it 9 out of 10 too.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I get 9 out of 10 is because of the time, right? Because I felt the time. So I can't give it a perfect score because I felt the time. So I give it a 9 out of a 10.
So I heard on TikTok people were like, who's gonna be the next Denzel Washington? And do you think that Jonathan Majors can do something like that where he's gonna be the next?
You know, he could.
No?
He's who's the next Denzel Washington is his son, right?
Right. That was on the list, but people were like, no, Jonathan Majors has really brought more character.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's not done enough for me to try to put him in that kind of category.
I know, right? Like
He's got to do a
Denzel.
little more. Get into a if you get into
Action.
one of those big movies like what's his name? Your guy, Inception, director.
Chris Nolan.
Thank
I was
you.
like,
I don't know
what?
why I was drawing a blank. Get into a Chris Nolan movie.
Yeah.
I might throw it at you.
That would be cool if he was in a Chris Nolan movie.
Yeah.
That would really set him.
He's a good actor. He's on his way up, especially now that he's going to be Kang. In the MCU, we're going to see him in a bunch of movies, right?
Yeah.
But that's comic book movies, so that doesn't really lend your acting chops, right? That's more just fun and action. In this, his acting skills showed, and he did his thing.
Yeah, I agree.
This was an all-star cast, man.
Yeah,
All right.
I was looking at it and I was like, why is everybody a superhero? Like,
Yeah, all-star cast.
Everybody in a superhero.
All-star cast.
But all-star cast for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a movie to check out if y'all haven't seen it already.
For
These
sure.
are all Netflix movies that we're talking about. And yeah, I agree with this. 93, 87, definitely certified fresh.
Yep.
The next movie we're going to talk about is